You know those new mobile driver's licenses your state just started pushing? Notice how your bank keeps asking for more biometric verification? Ever wonder why every airport now wants to scan your face?
Passengers taking a trip to the future without a boarding pass.
If this feels like Hunger Games, that's because we're literally building the capital's control system in real life. I bet you didn't know that we're not just headed toward a real-life Hunger Games. We're in the final stages of building the same population control and surveillance system. International organizations are coordinating a $6 billion rollout of biometric surveillance systems across 50-plus countries that mirrors the capital's population control, and Mexico's system launches in just 4 months. This isn't science fiction anymore. This is February 2026, and you're next. Let's be specific about what Mexico's real-life capital system requires starting February 2026. Citizens need biometric fingerprint scans of all 10 fingers, iris scans of both eyes, and facial photographs stored in QR codes for every banking transaction, healthcare visit, employment verification, government service, school enrollment, tax filing, passport application, and even mobile phone activation. Just like the capital controlled food distribution to keep the districts compliant, Mexico now controls banking access through biometric verification. No biometric scan, no access to your own money. This isn't limited to adults. The government plans to collect biometric data from children and adolescents within 120 days of implementation, exactly like the capital registered children for the reaping. When families of missing persons protested in Mexico City, their signs read, "Spying is not searching." They know surveillance isn't safety, it's control. But here's what they're not telling you. Americans and Europeans are being turned into compliant capital citizens through the slow boil method. The Transportation Security Administration now uses facial recognition at airports, and people actually think it's convenient. Real ID enforcement begins May 2025 for domestic flights. Multiple U.S. states are implementing mobile driver's licenses with biometric verification. The European Union mandated that all 450 million citizens have digital identity wallets by 2026. Notice the pattern? Capital citizens loved their surveillance because they thought it made them safe and special. Americans and Europeans are accepting biometric systems for the same reasons: convenience, security, modernization. The endpoint is identical to Mexico's system. The only difference is you're being boiled slowly instead of thrown into the pot. This mirrors the capital's strategy perfectly. Control the outer districts first, then expand inward. International organizations strategically test comprehensive surveillance systems on compliant populations with existing authoritarian structures, work out the resistance points, then export the proven model to resistant populations. China launched their system in July 2025. Tanzania is targeting 300,000 children for biometric collection before nationwide rollout in 2026 to 2027. Malawi is implementing digital identity wallets by 2026. Even Switzerland, traditionally neutral and privacy-focused, is implementing biometric identity cards by 2026. Just like the capital used District 1's luxury to make other districts compliant, they're using early adopter countries to pressure resistant populations. Other countries are already successfully using this technology. Why are you being difficult? The World Bank's Identification for Development initiative is the real capital, coordinating more than $2.3 billion in financing for digital ID systems affecting over 550 million people. The program is funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, UK government, French government, Norwegian Agency for Development Cooperation, and Omidyar Network. They estimate it will take $6 billion to meet global digital identification needs, with nearly $1 billion already mobilized for projects across 30 countries. The World Economic Forum coordinates the international framework through their platform for good digital identity. This isn't organic technological development. It's coordinated implementation of surveillance infrastructure using international development funding, exactly like the capital's systematic control over all districts. Let's be specific about what daily life looks like under the real-life capital system. Want to buy groceries? Biometric scan required and recorded in government databases. Need medical care? Iris scan for access, and the capital tracks your health data. Want to travel? Facial recognition verification and location tracking. Just like the capital could cut off food supplies to rebellious districts, these systems create the technical infrastructure to instantly cut off anyone's access to banking, healthcare, employment, and food. Digital exile in a cashless society equals death. Every transaction gets logged in government databases. The authorities will know what you buy, where you go, who you see, what medical treatments you receive. Complete behavioral profiles for population control. Exactly like the capital's surveillance of the districts. The only difference is, the technology is better now. The justifications are identical to capital propaganda. They claim it prevents fraud and increases security. But they could simply flag criminal records instead of surveilling everyone. They claim it's for convenience, but existing systems work fine without surrendering biometric data. They claim it helps find missing persons, but families of missing persons in Mexico are protesting because they know surveillance doesn't equal investigation. The real purpose is population control. When governments control access to banking, healthcare, and food, they control human behavior. Notice they're implementing during crises, just like the capital used the rebellion to justify increased control. COVID accelerated digital ID adoption. Economic uncertainty makes people accept surveillance for benefits. Security threats justify biometric requirements. Crisis creates compliance every time. If these systems become fully implemented, children born today will never know privacy, anonymity, or freedom of movement. They'll grow up like capital children, assuming it's normal for governments to track every purchase, location, and interaction. Mexico is requiring children's biometric registration within 120 days, exactly like the capital registering children for control. These kids will spend their entire lives in government databases, never experiencing what it feels like to move through society without algorithmic tracking. The children being registered now will inherit digital surveillance as the default human condition, not knowing they lost freedoms their parents once had. They'll be permanent district citizens from birth. This creates compliance that lasts forever. But remember District 13? They completely opted out of the capital system and built an independent society. You still have that choice, but the window is closing rapidly. Mexico's real-life capital system launches in 4 months. EU digital wallets are mandatory by 2026. US biometric integration is accelerating through Real ID and TSA expansion. The decisions made in the next 12 to 18 months will determine whether your children live as free individuals or monitored district citizens. The most important factor is awareness. Most people have no idea this coordinated capital system is being built because it's presented as separate national initiatives rather than a global surveillance program. The question isn't whether we're headed toward a real-life Hunger Games. We're already there. The question is, will you be a compliant capital citizen, a controlled district resident, or will you choose District 13 while there's still time? Remember, District 13 opted out before it was too late. You still can too.